Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speak Now. I'm Lucy.
And I'm Tom. Great to have you here today. Lucy, I have to confess something. I made a really embarrassing English mistake at the coffee shop this morning.
Oh no, what happened?
I meant to ask for extra foam on my coffee, but I accidentally said extra phone. The barista looked so confused and asked if I wanted to order a second phone with my latte.
That's actually perfect timing because today we're talking about English mistakes that make people laugh.
Exactly. And before anyone feels embarrassed, let me say this. Making mistakes is how we learn. Every English speaker, even native speakers, makes funny mistakes sometimes.
That's so true. And honestly, most funny English mistakes happen because English is, well, it's a weird language with lots of strange rules.
Right. So today we're going to share some common mistakes that English learners make, but we're going to laugh with you, not at you.
We'll explain what went wrong and how to fix it, but most importantly, we want you to know that these mistakes are totally normal and often pretty funny.
Plus, Lucy and I will share some of our own embarrassing language mistakes because trust me, we've made plenty.
Oh, we definitely have. So grab your coffee, with or without extra phones, and let's dive into some hilarious English mistakes.
Before we start laughing with these mistakes, let's talk about why English mistakes can be so funny.
Great point. English has so many words that sound similar but mean completely different things. It's like the language is playing tricks on us.
Exactly. And sometimes a tiny pronunciation difference can change I'm looking for a sheep into I'm looking for a ship.
That's a classic one. Imagine someone at the harbor asking, "Have you seen my sheep?" instead of "Have you seen my ship?"
Or when grammar mistakes create pictures in our minds that are totally different from what the person meant to say.
Right. Like when someone says, "I have been broken my leg," instead of "I broke my leg," it sounds like they're still broken, like a toy that needs fixing.
Exactly. The funny thing is, we usually understand what people mean, even when the words are mixed up.
And that's the beautiful thing about communication. Even imperfect English can still get the message across.
Plus, native speakers make mistakes too. I once told someone I was exhausted when I meant excited about a new job. Very different feelings.
That would definitely send the wrong message. I'm so exhausted about working here.
So remember everyone, if native speakers mess up their own language, it's totally okay if you do too while you're learning.
Absolutely. Making mistakes means you're trying, and trying means you're learning.
Let's start with pronunciation mistakes. Lucy, these are some of my favorites because such a small change can create such big confusion.
Oh, yes. Let me share one I heard last week. A student told me, "I need to wash my car because it's very dirty."
That sounds correct to me. What was wrong with it?
Nothing was wrong with those words, but what she actually said was, "I need to wash my cat because it's very dirty."
Oh no, she said cat instead of car.
Exactly. The A sound in cat versus the R sound in car. Very different meanings.
I bet people were very confused about why she was giving her cat a bath.
Right. Though I suppose some cats do need baths sometimes.
What's a pronunciation mistake you've heard? A friend of mine was at a restaurant and wanted to order chicken, but he kept saying kitchen. So he told the waiter, "I'd like the kitchen, please."
The waiter was probably thinking, well, that's a very big order.
The waiter was so confused. Finally, my friend pointed at the menu and they figured it out together.
That's so sweet. See how pointing and gesturing can help when pronunciation gets tricky?
Absolutely. Here's another one. The difference between beach and, well, I'll let you guess the other word.
Oh, I know this one. When people say, "I love going to the beach," but it sounds like a completely different word that we probably shouldn't say on the podcast.
Exactly. The long E sound in beach is very important. Practice saying, I want to go to the beach.
Great tip. Make that vowel sound extra long and clear. Beach with a long E sound.
Now, what about sheep and ship? We mentioned this one earlier.
Oh, yes. I saw a big sheep in the harbor. Sounds very strange. Sheep don't usually hang out at the harbor with boats.
Unless it's a very adventurous sheep. The difference is sheep has a long E sound and ship has a short I sound.
Practice with the sheep is on the ship. You need both sounds in one sentence.
Now let's talk about grammar mistakes that create funny mental images. Lucy, do you have a good one?
Oh, I have a great one. A student once wrote in an essay, "My mother is cooking my father and me for dinner."
Oh no, that sounds very dangerous for your father.
Right. It sounds like her mother is going to cook them like food. What she meant was, my mother is cooking dinner for my father and me.
The word order makes such a big difference. Cooking for us versus cooking us. Very different meanings.
Exactly. In the first one, mom is being nice and making food. In the second one, mom has become very scary.
I have one too. A student told me, I have been studying English since I was boring.
Since I was boring. That's a very specific time to start studying English.
Right? He meant since I was born, not since I was boring. Though maybe studying English made him less boring.
That's a great way to look at it. Learning languages definitely makes people more interesting.
Here's another grammar mistake that creates funny pictures. I am going to marry with my boyfriend next year.
Marry with sounds like you need a third person to help. Like you can't do it alone.
Exactly. It's just marry, not marry with. I am going to marry my boyfriend. No extra words needed.
English learners often add extra prepositions because their native language might use them. It's totally understandable.
Right. Another one, I am very interested for learning English.
Interested for? That sounds like you're doing it as a favor for English. I'm helping English by learning it.
That's actually kind of sweet, but it should be interested in learning English.
Interested in, like English is a room you want to go into and explore. Let's talk about word choice mistakes. These happen when people use words that are technically correct, but create unexpected meanings.
Oh, these are fun. Like when someone says, I am pregnant instead of I am embarrassed.
That would definitely surprise people, especially if you're a man.
Right? In some languages, the word for embarrassed sounds like pregnant in English. Very different meanings.
So if someone asks, how was your presentation? And you say, I was very pregnant, they might be very confused.
They might wonder why you were giving a presentation in that condition. The correct word is embarrassed. I was very embarrassed during my presentation.
Here's another one. I am constipated instead of I am confused.
Oh my, that's definitely oversharing in a conversation.
Right. If someone asks, do you understand the homework? You don't want to say, no, I am very constipated.
The teacher would probably suggest you go to the nurse instead of helping with the homework. The correct word is confused. No, I am very confused about the homework. What about I am pregnant with ideas instead of I am full of ideas?
That's actually kind of poetic, but it sounds very strange. Ideas don't grow in your belly.
Though I suppose creative ideas do need time to develop, like babies.
That's true. But let's stick to I am full of ideas or I have lots of ideas.
Here's another word choice mistake that happened to me. I meant to say someone was ingenious, but I said they were indigenous.
So instead of saying they were clever, you said they were a native person from that area.
Exactly. Very different compliments. You're so ingenious versus you're so indigenous. One is about intelligence, one is about where you're from. Now, let's talk about direct translation mistakes. These happen when people translate word for word from their native language to English.
Oh, yes. These can be really funny because the grammar might be correct, but the meaning is completely different.
Like when someone says, I have cold instead of I am cold or I have a cold.
Right. I have cold sounds like cold is something you own. Like I have a car or I have a book.
Yes, I keep my cold in a box at home. It's a very nice cold.
Would you like to borrow my cold? It sounds like cold is a thing you can give to people.
The correct way depends on what you mean. If you feel cold, say I am cold. If you're sick, say I have a cold.
Great explanation. What about I am going to cut my hair?
Wait, that sounds right to me. What's wrong with it?
Nothing's wrong with the English, but I heard a student say this and her friend got very worried and asked if she was going to cut her own hair and that she was probably not a good idea.
Oh, because it sounds like she's going to cut her own hair, not go to the hairdresser?
Exactly. In many languages, you say cut my hair and it's understood that someone else will do it. But in English, it sounds like a do-it-yourself project.
So it's better to say, I'm going to get my hair cut or I'm going to the hairdresser.
Right. Same with I'm going to repair my car versus I'm going to get my car repaired.
Unless you actually are going to fix it yourself, then I'm going to repair my car is correct.
True. Context matters. Here's another translation one. I am going to assist to the meeting.
Assist to? That sounds like the meeting needs help with something.
Right, like the meeting is struggling and you're going to rescue it.
Don't worry, meeting. I'm here to assist you.
The correct phrase is attend the meeting. Just attend, no extra words needed.
Okay, Lucy, confession time. Let's share some of our own embarrassing language mistakes.
Oh no, are we really doing this? Okay, I'll go first. When I was learning Spanish, I wanted to say I was embarrassed, but I said, estoy embarazada.
Oh no, you said you were pregnant instead of embarrassed.
Exactly. The whole room went silent, and then everyone started congratulating me. I was so confused until someone explained my mistake.
That's actually hilarious, and it's the same mistake English learners make in reverse. Embarrassed and pregnant getting mixed up.
Right? It's a classic mistake in both directions. Your turn, Tom. Share an embarrassing story.
Sigh. Okay, when I was learning French, I wanted to ask for preservatives in English. You know, like the chemicals they put in food to keep it fresh.
Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going.
I asked for préservatif in French, which sounds similar. But in French, that word means condoms.
Oh my goodness. So you asked for condoms with your food?
The waiter was so confused. He kept asking if I was sure, and I kept saying yes, thinking he didn't understand my accent.
That's amazing. Did you figure it out eventually?
Not until my French friend explained later why everyone at the restaurant was looking at me so strangely.
That's such a perfect example of false friends. Words that sound similar in different languages but mean different things.
Exactly. And it taught me to be more careful about assuming words mean the same thing in different languages.
These mistakes are actually really valuable learning experiences, even if they're embarrassing at the time. Let's talk about phrasal verbs. Tom, these little combinations cause so many funny mistakes.
Oh, yes. Phrasal verbs are like puzzles. You think you understand each word separately, but put them together and, surprise, completely different meaning.
Right. Like when someone says, I got off the bus and got off my shoes.
Got off your shoes. That makes it sound like your shoes were giving you a ride.
Exactly. You get off a bus, but you take off your shoes. Different verbs for different things.
Or when people say, I woke down this morning instead of I woke up.
Woke down? That sounds like you fell asleep while standing up and woke up on the floor.
Right. You wake up because you're rising from sleep, going from down to up.
Here's one I hear a lot. Please open up the lights.
Open up the lights, like the lights are a door or a box.
Come on, lights, open up. We know you're in there. It should be turn on the lights.
Or switch on the lights, but definitely not open up the lights. Lights don't have doors.
What about I'm going to close down the TV?
Close down sounds very serious, like the TV is a business that's failing. We regret to announce that this TV is closing down permanently.
Right. It should be turn off the TV or switch off the TV.
Phrasal verbs are tricky because they're so common in everyday English, but they don't always make logical sense.
True, but the good news is that even if you use the wrong one, people usually understand what you mean.
Let's talk about words that sound similar but have very different meanings. These create some hilarious mix-ups.
Oh, I love these, like kitchen and chicken. We mentioned this one earlier, but it happens so often.
Right. I'm cooking in the chicken sounds very strange. Poor chicken.
Or the chicken is very clean when you mean the kitchen is very clean.
What about desert and dessert?
Oh, yes. I love chocolate desert. A sandy chocolate wasteland.
That would be a very strange place. Desert is the dry, sandy place with camels. Dessert is the sweet thing you eat after dinner.
Easy way to remember. Dessert has 2 S's because you want seconds.
That's brilliant. Here's another pair. Advice and advise.
These are tricky because they sound almost the same. Can you give me some advice? Sounds right, but it's wrong.
Right. Advice is the noun, the thing you give. Advise is the verb, the action of giving advice.
So you give advice and you advise someone. The ice is the thing, the ice is the action.
What about borrow and lend? These get mixed up all the time.
Yes. Can you borrow me your book? That's backwards.
It sounds like you want the book to take you somewhere, like the book is doing the borrowing.
Right. You borrow from someone and you lend to someone. Can you lend me your book? Or can I borrow your book?
The person who has the thing lends. The person who wants the thing borrows.
Now, let's talk about cultural mistakes. When the English is correct, but the meaning is surprising because of cultural differences.
These are interesting because they're not really language mistakes, but they can still cause funny misunderstandings.
Right, like when someone says, "You look fat today," and means it as a compliment.
In English-speaking cultures, that would not be received as a compliment.
Exactly. In some cultures, looking fat or having gained weight means you look healthy and prosperous. But in English-speaking countries, it's not a compliment.
Better to say you look healthy or you look great or you look happy.
Another one, saying how old are you to someone you just met.
In many English-speaking cultures, asking someone's age directly can be considered rude, especially asking women about their age.
Right. It's not wrong English, but it might make people uncomfortable. Better to avoid age questions unless it's relevant.
What about compliments that are too personal, like you have very white teeth?
While it's nice to compliment people, very specific physical compliments can sound strange from someone you don't know well.
It's like you've been studying their teeth very carefully. A bit intense for a first meeting.
Right. I have been observing your dental situation, and I approve. Better to stick to general compliments like, you have a nice smile.
Or compliment non-physical things like, I like your jacket, or that's an interesting book you're reading. Let's talk about formality mistakes. Sometimes people use very formal English in casual situations, or very casual English in formal situations.
Oh, yes. Like when someone goes to buy coffee and says, I would be most grateful if you could provide me with a cappuccino, please.
The barista would probably think, who is this person? Are they from the 18th century?
Right. It's correct English, but way too formal for a coffee shop. Just, can I have a cappuccino, please, is perfect.
Or the opposite, someone writes an email to their boss saying, hey, can you give me tomorrow off? Thanks.
That's way too casual for most workplace emails. The boss might think you don't take your job seriously.
Right. Better to write, Dear Mr. Smith, I would like to request tomorrow off for personal reasons. Thank you for considering my request.
It's about matching your language to the situation. Casual with friends, more formal with bosses or strangers.
What about saying please and thank you too much?
Interesting question. Can you really say please and thank you too much?
Well, if every sentence has please in it, it can sound strange. Please, could you please pass the please salt, please?
That does sound odd, like you're not sure when to use please, so you put it everywhere just to be safe?
Right. One please per request is usually enough. Could you please pass the salt? Perfect.
And thank you is great, but saying it after every single thing can sound robotic. Thank you for breathing. Thank you for existing. Thank you for listening to me say thank you.
True. Natural conversation has a flow. Too many polite words can interrupt that flow.
Here's something interesting, Tom. Sometimes mistakes actually create new expressions or become part of the language.
That's true. Language changes all the time, and sometimes mistakes become accepted.
Like literally, people use it to mean figuratively now, which is technically the opposite of its original meaning.
Right. People say, I literally died laughing when they obviously didn't actually die.
But everyone understands what they mean, and it adds emphasis to the feeling.
And sometimes mistakes are so common that they become acceptable alternatives, like, who did you give it to, instead of to whom did you give it?
The first one ends with a preposition, which grammar books say is wrong, but everyone says it that way.
Because to whom did you give it sounds very formal and old-fashioned in everyday conversation.
Right. Sometimes incorrect grammar sounds more natural and friendly.
Here's another one. Me and my friend went to the movies.
Technically, it should be my friend and I went to the movies, but lots of native speakers say me and my friend.
And everyone understands perfectly. The meaning is clear even if the grammar is wrong.
It shows that language is alive and changing. What matters most is communication, not perfect grammar rules.
No, it's still good to learn the correct forms, especially for formal writing or professional situations.
Absolutely. Know the rules first, then you can decide when it's okay to be more casual.
Let's talk about attitude, Lucy. How should people feel when they make these funny mistakes?
Great question. I think the best attitude is to laugh with people, not feel embarrassed or defensive.
Right. If someone laughs at your mistake, they're usually not being mean. They're just surprised or amused by the mix-up.
And often people are laughing because they relate. They've made similar mistakes themselves.
Plus, when you can laugh at your own mistakes, it shows confidence and a good sense of humor.
Exactly. I always tell my students, if you say something funny by accident, enjoy the moment. You just made people smile.
And it's a great way to remember the correction. If you accidentally say something funny, you'll probably never forget the right way to say it.
So true. The embarrassing mistakes are often the ones we learn from best.
What if people laugh and you don't understand why?
Just ask. Did I say something funny? Most people will happily explain and help you learn.
Right. Don't feel bad about asking for clarification. It shows you want to improve.
And remember, making mistakes means you're trying. People who never make mistakes are people who never try new things.
Plus, perfect English is not the goal. Clear communication is the goal. Even with mistakes, if people understand you, you're succeeding.
Absolutely. Some of the most interesting conversations I've had were with people who made English mistakes but had amazing things to say.
Let's give our listeners some practical tips for avoiding the most common funny mistakes.
Great idea. First tip, when in doubt, use simple words instead of complex ones.
Right. It's better to say big correctly than to say enormous incorrectly.
Second tip, practice pronunciation of similar words out loud. Beach and sheet. Make sure you can hear the difference.
And don't be afraid to ask people to correct you. Most people are happy to help if you ask nicely.
Third tip, learn phrasal verbs as complete units, not separate words. Turn on the lights, turn off the TV, turn up the music.
Good one. And for word choice mistakes, try to learn words in context, not just from translation dictionaries.
Yes, see how words are used in real sentences, not just memorized definitions.
What about grammar mistakes?
Start with simple sentence structures and build up. Don't try to make complex sentences until you're comfortable with basic ones.
And read a lot. Reading helps you see how words and grammar work together naturally.
Speaking practice is important too. Practice with friends, language exchange partners, or even by talking to yourself.
Don't worry about being perfect. Worry about being understood and being brave enough to try.
All right, Tom, we've shared a lot of funny mistakes today. What's your final message to our listeners?
My message is simple. Embrace your mistakes. They're not failures. They're learning opportunities wrapped in humor.
I love that. And remember, even native speakers make mistakes. Language is messy and imperfect, and that's what makes it beautiful.
Plus, some of the funniest, most memorable moments in language learning come from mistakes. These stories become great conversation starters later.
Exactly. In 5 years, you'll be telling friends about the time you accidentally asked for extra phones in your coffee.
And they will love hearing about it. Mistake stories are the best stories.
So here's your homework, everyone. Make at least one mistake this week while practicing English.
Wait, are you encouraging people to make mistakes on purpose?
Well, if you're not making mistakes, you're probably not pushing yourself to try new things.
That's actually brilliant advice. If you're only saying things you're 100% sure about, you're not growing.
Right, so try new words, attempt complex sentences, practice that pronunciation you're not sure about.
And when you inevitably make mistakes, because everyone does, smile, laugh, learn, and keep going.
Remember, the goal isn't perfect English. The goal is confident communication.
And the ability to laugh when things go wrong. Laughter makes everything better, including language learning.
Before we go, let me share one final mistake story. A student once told me, "Thank you for teaching me English. Now I can make mistakes in 2 languages."
That's actually the best compliment a language teacher can receive.
I thought so too. It showed he understood that mistakes are part of the process, not something to avoid.
Perfect. So everyone, keep making those beautiful, hilarious, educational mistakes.
Thanks for listening to Speak Now. I'm Lucy.
And I'm Tom. Remember, if you're not making mistakes, you're not learning.
Until next time, keep speaking, keep laughing, and speak now.
Even if you accidentally ask for extra phones with your coffee.
Especially then. Bye, everyone.